Hi, I'm Kitsy. You know, a lot of cat food ingredients are unsafe for cats, and today I'm going to show you how to spot them. Stay tuned till the end for the wet cat food I recommend and why. Listen, I don't know about you, but choosing cat food is a wilderness you can get lost in. Today I'm covering what should and shouldn't be in the ingredients of wet cat food. I'll go over the top 5 popular brands and why they don't measure up, and finish with the 4 that actually do. Let's get started. Okay, so the top 5 things that you should look for in your cat food. Number 1, animal meat. This can be in the form of meat, poultry, or fish. For the fish, you're going to want tuna or salmon. They're the best and they're low in mercury. The best kind of tuna to get is amberjack or skipjack. And you want to make sure that these animal-sourced proteins are one of the first 5 ingredients, as those are the main ingredients and the most important. Number 2, fiber. This can come from whole grains like rice or oatmeal, or even from pumpkin. Number 3, a good nutritional balance. You want your protein percentage as high as possible, as well as the moisture content. And you want to have a reasonable amount of fiber, because the lack of fiber leads to constipation. Lastly, you want it to be low fat. Number 4, fish oils, particularly salmon oil, mixed tocopherols, or rosemary extract are good ingredients in wet cat food. And number 5, taurine. Cats need between 250 milligrams to 500 milligrams every 12 hours of taurine. Taurine deficiency can lead to irreversible eye damage. And cats can't metabolize or get taurine from other sources like we can. So it's very important to supplement your cat's diet with taurine if the percentage of taurine is not high enough in the cat food. Most wet cat food doesn't have more than 0.2%, so supplementation is probably going to be needed. These are the absolute no-nos for the ingredients of wet cat food. Number 1, phosphates. Phosphates are naturally found in meat, poultry, and fish. They do not need to be added to your cat food. When they are added to your cat food, they disrupt the calcium to phosphate equilibrium, leading to kidney disease in healthy cats. Senior kidney disease in cats is on the rise due to a lifelong consumption of phosphates. And it's really only a preservative added for that and for taste. So there's no reason to add it to your cat food. 2, artificial coloring, iron oxide, for example. These are not needed as they're only put in to make the food look more flavorful. Cats see in muted colors, so there's no reason to change the color of the cat food because the cats don't eat based on the color of their food. Studies have also been shown that these kind of artificial colors, like iron oxide, are harmful in humans and in rodents. So it's just not an ingredient that belongs in cat food. Number 3, flavoring. Artificial and natural flavorings are often used to hide the fact that they're using dioxides in your cat food. Dioxides are very harmful if ingested, and there is no reason to add natural flavoring when you can get the flavor from using the meat itself. Number 4, gum. Xanthan gum, cassia gum, and guar gum are often found in wet cat food ingredients. It's a thickening agent, and it's not needed in the cat's diet. And it can lead to digestive problems such as vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, and dental problems. So just cut out the gum in your cat's cat food ingredients. Number 5, carrageenan. This is another thickening agent, and it's not needed in the cat's diet. It's been linked to cancer cell development and also inflammation, particularly in the colon. So skip the carrageenan. Number 6, highly refined grains like wheat and corn, flour and gluten, or even starches like potato. These are an inexpensive filler, and all the nutrients have been refined out, so it's not necessary to include in your cat's diet. Number 7, animal byproducts. This doesn't say much about what part of the animal the meat is coming from, and oftentimes it's not whole meat sources. So if it's not specifically telling you what type of meat it is and it's using the term byproduct, it's not a good thing to have in your cat food. Number 8, synthetic preservatives, such as BHT or BHA. Can't pronounce what they stand for, but they'll be in the label. These you need to skip because they can lead to cancer, kidney, liver disease, and allergic reactions. Number 9, vitamin K3. Cats require such a small amount of vitamin K that it's not necessary to add it to their diet, as it's very easy to get toxic levels of vitamin K if you add it. The only animal that requires vitamin K added to their diet is poultry. Number 10, legumes, such as beans, peas, and soy. High amounts of legumes in a cat's diet can lead to dilated cardiomyopathy, a serious heart condition. And soy is an inexpensive plant-based protein that often contains hormones such as estrogens. The only time that these plant proteins are used is because they're not using enough animal products in the first 5 ingredients. They should never be high on the list, and you should try to avoid them if possible. If they're lower on the list, you can get away with a couple, but you don't want high levels of this in your ingredients of wet cat food. Now here are the top 5 most popular brands that are actually very unhealthy for your cat. The first brand is Wellness Core. The first 5 ingredients are good protein sources, but for the bad ingredients, you've got natural flavors in potatoes, cassia gum, xanthan gum, and guar gum. And then you finish up with tricalcium phosphate. A lifelong diet of this leads to kidney disease. The second is Royal Canin. It's got chicken and pork byproducts in its first 5 ingredients, then natural flavoring, followed by wheat flour, wheat gluten, modified cornstarch, vegetable oil, guar gum, sodium tripolyphosphate. Then you've got salt, which cats don't need. They need as much hydration as they can get, carrageenan, and then all the oxides, magnesium oxide, zinc oxide, manganese oxide. The third is Raruva. It's got potato starch, natural flavors, guar gum, tricalcium phosphate, and menadione sodium bisulfate complex, which is a source of vitamin K. And cats don't need vitamin K in their diet. They can become toxic. The fourth brand is From Gold. Now they have the first 5 ingredients with great protein sources and 2 sources of whole grains as well as fish oils. Unfortunately, they have potatoes, phosphates, xanthan gum, and salt. The 5th brand is Tiki Cat, and in its main ingredients it only has 1 source of protein and includes phosphate. Then you have salt and artificial coloring in the form of zinc oxide and manganese oxide. Now it's time to cat test the 4 brands held up to intense scrutiny. Scout is a kibble kitty only, so he won't be included in the cat test. The first one I found was Open Farm, grain-free and legume-free, and I chose the chicken flavor because my cats really like chicken. It's priced at 56 cents an ounce. The ingredients on this were pretty straightforward. It had 2 sources of protein in the form of chicken and chicken liver, and the water came from chicken broth. It also had pumpkin. The one thing I didn't like about this was it had flavoring and salt, but overall, the cats really liked it. So this was definitely on the list of contenders for me. The second wet cat food I decided to cat test was Origin in bone broth, chicken flavored, 76 cents an ounce. This was very appealing to me to look at, and it was loaded with moisture in the form of chicken bone broth and fish bone broth. This ingredient list was a delight to look at. 6 protein sources in the first 8 ingredients, and taurine high on the list. All of the cats really seemed to enjoy this. It had both chicken and fish, as well as egg in the ingredients. Unfortunately, it did have salt, but aside from that, it was perfect. The third brand of wet cat food I tried was Feline Natural Chicken and Venison Feast. It was priced at 80 cents an ounce. Venison blood and New Zealand water provides the moisture in this can of cat food. This has great protein sources: venison kidney, venison liver, and even venison blood. Unfortunately, it has artificial coloring in the form of magnesium oxide. It has limited ingredients for sensitive or allergy-prone cats, but the only cats that liked it were Susie and Oliver. Lulu completely turned her nose up at it, would have nothing to do with it. The final brand of wet cat food that I tested was Applause. Comes in a variety of flavors and is 81 cents an ounce. It only has 4 ingredients: chicken breast, pumpkin, chicken broth, and rice. And boy, did the cats love this. Unfortunately, it has no vitamins, amino acids, and no taurine at all. I didn't notice until afterwards, but on the can, it says this is not a complete food. It's only intended for intermittent or supplemental feeding. So this is something I would have to add to the dry food that they eat. If there's a brand of wet cat food that I didn't cover, please mention it in the comments and I will in an upcoming video. Now, let's go over a recap of the 4 brands I recommend. The first was Open Farm. Now this had a lower percentage of taurine than some of the others, and the fat percentage was almost as high as the protein percentage, which I don't like to see a high fat content when I'm feeding my cats because they do struggle with weight management. The moisture content was the lowest of all 4. Though this is the cheapest cat food, I would like to see the fiber content a little bit higher, but it's okay. The second one was Origin. This had all of its moisture derived from bone broths. I really liked that, though the fiber was really low, but it was the highest in protein, and my cats liked it. Feline Natural. Now this cat food, my cats wouldn't touch. I'm thinking it's because they don't like the smell of the venison. I might try chicken. If you want to see me do an update on if they like the chicken flavor, let me know, and I can do that in an upcoming video. Now, it had no taurine. I did not like that, but I plan on supplementing my cat's diet with the taurine supplement anyway, because 0.2% is still not high enough for their daily requirement needs of taurine. The fiber was good, and I love that the protein came from such a variety of animal organs. The moisture content came all from New Zealand water, which is really fresh and clean, and from animal blood. So I was really excited, and I really had hoped that the cats like this. We'll try again with chicken. Now for the most expensive of all 4. That's Applause. I will say that my cats absolutely love this one the best out of all of them. Unfortunately, it's not a complete cat food and should only be given as a supplement to their cat food. It's only to be used at most like twice a week, so it's kind of like a treat. It had good fiber and no taurine, no vitamins, no amino acids, just the 4 basic ingredients. Unfortunately, the other Applause products that are complete and whole foods have a lot of bad ingredients in them. So you can't really get this and other Applause products and combine them. It just doesn't make sense, especially because it's so expensive. Well, there you have it. Now remember, this is the first video in a series that I'm doing on cat diet. In the other videos, I'm going to be covering dry cat food, bone broths, and vitamin supplementation in addition to taurine. I'll also throw in some easy, simple, homemade recipes if you want to make your own cat food and bone broth. If you got value, hope, or inspiration from watching this video, or you learned something new, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. Thanks so much, and see you next time.